I want to talk about hardware synthesizers today and some of the reasons why I think they have made my tracks better actually during the years. Today, you don't really need a hardware synthesizer to be able to make commercial, marketable electronic music. I mean, you can learn everything in the box with software synthesizer to a fraction of the price what a hardware or a sort of high-end hardware synthesizer costs. And computers today, they are also so powerful that you don't even need to buy anything top of the line to get started in music production. You have probably maybe seen that on my channel. You can use the M4 MacBook Air to make actually pretty demanding projects with demanding plugins as well. And this is the route I took when I was starting music production, and it's been serving me quite well. But as everyone else, and probably you as well, I am looking at YouTube, I'm looking at videos, people showing off synthesizers, showing off gear, playing presets, showing how they sound. And of course, it's easy to get bitten by gas, but I think I've been able to maybe control that a little bit. I don't have a wall of synthesizers. I got bitten by gas, and I think it's almost maybe 18 or 17 years ago or something like that. It was a long time ago. I got the Access Wires TI2. I got it at the same time I got Twins. I didn't really learn to program it. It was a paperweight. I didn't use it that much, so I sold it. So a few years went by, and I did the same cycle again, blah, 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 YouTube videos, gas, blah, 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 watching. And I thought that I needed something analog. So I got the Moog Subsequent 37. And I think that synthesizer, when I got that one, that actually was something that, or sort of a catalyst that helped me create better music. And it's not necessarily the synthesizer's fault, but I have a few reasons for why I think it helped me create better music, and maybe it can give you some reason to don't put off putting out that synthesizer on your credit card, which you shouldn't perhaps do. Well, anyway, here are some of the reasons. So I'm a fan of that analog warm sound, and of course everyone more or less knows that the Subsequent is one of the synthesizers that can deliver that. Many hardware synthesizers, and of course especially analog ones, they have these subtle inconsistencies in their sound and harmonics, and they are a little bit difficult to replicate digitally in VSTs. I mean, the oscillators, the filters, the amps, and all of that hardware that plays along inside the synthesizer, often it just sounds richer, fuller, and I don't know what you can say, more alive than most plugins. The only plugin that I think comes near a hardware synthesizer is Diva, and a producer friend of me actually sent me an A/B test. He also have a Subsequent 37, and he asked me to tell him, okay, which of these audio files are a hardware synth, which are Diva, and yeah, shockingly I had wrong. I thought Diva actually was the Subsequent, and when he told me what to listen for, it was obvious. Okay, that's the hardware synthesizer, of course, but I mean, if you are a listener or a music listener, you wouldn't notice that. So why should you get a hardware synthesizer? Well, it's been helping my tracks stand out, and the reason for that is that I had to force myself to learn programming when I got the Subsequent 37. I didn't know what an oscillator was. I didn't know what an LFO was, what an envelope was, you know, attack, decay, sustain, release. What is that? I had to learn all of that because while you can use the presets on the Subsequent 37, I wanted to just learn how to program it. And I actually spent some time trying to program it, and it's been helping me a lot actually in music production. I have used a program which is called Syntorial. I have an affiliate link to that in the description below. They are on sale when I am recording this video. So that's one thing you can do. Also, when I learned this program, this synthesizer, it also made me better programming synthesizers in my DAW, like plugins like Diva, like Serum. For example, if I do some preset surfing, I can load up a preset and it doesn't just sound quite right, but I know what to do to adjust the sound to make it sound like I want it to. So I think that part that learned me to program synthesizers. I don't claim to be an expert in this. I have a lot of stuff that I still have to learn, obviously, but that's something that helped me make better choices in other things than the hardware synthesizer as well. For a computer nerd like me, it's easy to look at specifications, megahertz, RAM, memory, storage, all of that. And I think it's easy to maybe be blinded about that when you're looking at synthesizers as well. I think you have to look at synthesizers as an instrument and not a bag of parts. Maybe some synthesizers can be viewed like that, and you can question if they are worth the price if they are running on some kind of Raspberry Pi or just some software. If we talk about analog synthesizers like the Subsequent 37 or maybe the OB6, they are not new instruments, but people still want them, and there's something with them that just makes them desirable. I can't even speak. Desirable, yeah. Anyway, there's something with them that just makes them an instrument and not a bag of specifications. That's something I got noticed when I got the Moog Muse. I'm not saying it's a bad synthesizer. It sounds good, and it requires a little bit of work to get the sound I wanted from it. So I had to work more with the Moog Muse to get the sound I wanted from it. But if I compare it with the Subsequent 37, it didn't require that much work to go sort of get the sound I want. So that's what I want, not necessarily you. Yeah, it's just something that vibes better with me, and I think that also helps with inspiration and all of that as well. Getting a hardware synthesizer or maybe also some controller will just get you off the screen, and I think it will get you into a flow state faster. I think it's easier to just focus on one device, because on the PC or the Mac, you have so many options. You have a lot of synthesizers, you have a lot of stock plugins. You can do everything, and you sort of get lost into that everything. But if you just focus on one thing, you focus on that thing, and I think it's easier to get into those happy accident places as well, which can, in many cases, just define a track. That's what happened to me. I have a track called Serpents, which is just took off, at least for me, on Spotify. It's featuring the Subsequent 37 in quite heavily in that track. It's very popular in Germany, so thank you, German people. Yeah, but that's just an aside. I think just want to sort of convey why I think having some unique hardware might help in your production. So the synths I've been talking about, except the Moog Muse, they are quite old. I mean, if someone asks me should I buy an 11-year-old Mac to use for music production, I would say, no, you should not do that. That's probably not going to work good. If you don't have any budget at all, just buy an M1 used Mac Mini or something for $200 or something like that. That's going to be way better. If you compare that with a PC or a synthesizer, you can see that the Sub 37, it came out in 2014. That's 11 years ago, and the Subsequent 37 is based off that, of course. And the OB6, which I don't have yet, but it's on the way, it also came out in 2016. That's 9 years ago. And I had to wait 1.5 months to get it, because they can't meet up the demand, apparently. So people still want these old synthesizers, and I think that says something about their quality, and it says something about their sound that is still desirable. And I think you have to use that lens when you are buying a instrument, that you don't have to look. If you know that you need polyphony, or you know that you need aftertouch and some specific feature, of course you should look at the specifications. I'm not saying that you never should do that, but I think that when you're selecting an instrument, you have to vibe with the sound first. I think that's the most important thing. Even how good it is on paper, if it's not vibing with you, you should maybe reconsider. Because with the OB6 and at least the sub 37, I can just turn them on, just do some, initialize the patch, do some adjustments on the envelopes, the waveforms, and whether I want some kind of pad or plucked sound or lead. It's just, I can just get it within a minute. And that's something that's worth something for me, because the music I create is something that is eventually going to be released. And I want to sort of try to keep up with a 6-week release schedule on Spotify or streaming places. If I can, of course. I'm not going to force it that much. So if I have a synthesizer that I'm working a lot with, maybe struggling with getting sounding the way I want, it's really not something for me, even if it's something that is considered good. So that's what I think is helping me in my production. It's basically the sound of some of the synthesizers I have gotten and the easy workflow with them. So I hope this video made some sense, and hopefully your credit card didn't suffer too much after watching this video. As I have always said, I'm in this room. This room is really small. I am just selecting a few pieces that I want to have. I want to have the sub 37. I want to have the OB6. And I don't think I want to have much more external gear than that, because it's going to make my workflow a bit more hassle. I don't really want to have that much hassle. So I'm trying to be careful in selecting the right synthesizers for me, at least. And sometimes I have to maybe try something else and realize that, okay, this was not something for me. And I think I have realized that now in the years here, that okay, this thing from Moog and maybe the sequential sound there is something that that is resonating with me and helping getting my music better. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one. If you have any thoughts, share them in the comments below. See you next time. Goodbye.